name's Abby and this is an introduction to my first ever YouTube video on my new YouTube channel. Hello, and as my intro just said, my name is Abby and I am starting a YouTube channel. Starting with this video, which I can already tell is going to be extremely cringeworthy, and I'm not going to look at the camera at points, and I'm going to use my hands to gesture, as that's something I constantly do, and this is extremely nerve-wracking for me. But there we go. I want to do it. I've been putting it off for a few years, and now I'm actually going to bite the bullet, as they call it, and actually do a YouTube video. Now, what is this YouTube video going to be about? Or YouTube channel going to be about? It is going to be about the American Civil War. Probably didn't expect that to come out of my mouth, which is the reaction I get from most people. I am an American Civil War reenactor, and I've been reenacting the American Civil War for 22, 23 years, around that ballpark. I started reenacting when I was maybe 5 or 6 years old, quite young, through my family. My little brother, who's a couple of years younger than me, also came as well. Primarily going with my dad, and then as I've grown up and learned to drive and things like that, I've also gone to events myself. And I'm not going to lie to you, it is my favourite thing to do as a hobby. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's like my second family, second world, away from home. I know I can just go away for the weekend, not have to worry about my phone or what's going on at work or having anything to worry about like that. It's just lovely. It's a lovely atmosphere and it's a lovely family environment. And it's also good to reenact and talk to people in public. Part of the reason I am doing this is because I want to portray or show what it is like to be an American Civil War reenactor. So what do I do at a weekend? Do I camp fully authentically, including in my tent? No, is the easy answer to that, but it is a question I get commonly asked. So that's part of the reason why I want to do it. I want to show people what it is like to be a reenactor, and what it's also like from the public's view, and for people who also can't get out and get to these events, it's great to put it on somewhere like YouTube so other people can see what we actually do and what's good about it. And it might not be everyone's cup of tea, which is also perfectly fine. If I do look down to my left, your right, it's because I have a notepad written down with everything that I want to say, and I will forget. I do go off on tangents quite frequently. I talk a lot also, so you're just going to have to bear with me on that one. And if I do talk a lot, it's going to be a long video, so I'm going to try and keep it to what I would like to say. So as I said, I've been reenacting for over 20 years now. And I would like to say two things before I go further. First thing is that I'm not a historian. I'm admittingly a little bit less knowledgeable with the history of the American Civil War. I know a little bit about the regiment I'm in, which I'll go to in a second, and a little bit about the American Civil War in general, famous battles, famous people, links, etc. But I am not a historian, so not everything I say might not be 100% accurate. It's something I do not want to be a historian, and it's why I look or read in books for things like that to be as accurate as possible. Second thing is, this is my hobby, so for example, some of my clothing, although I think it is quite period, might not be as period as you would expect, for example, and some bits of it modern. It's the same with other reenactors as well. Anyone that's in my video, there might be something slightly off on somebody's bread bag or somebody's sack on their back or something similar to that effect. We are all reenactors at the end of the day, and we use our money and our free time to do these portrayals. If they're not exact, we do our best possible to be as exact as we can to the public eye. Of course, behind the scenes, some of us tough nut it out, as I call it, so that you do get people who come for a weekend, sleep in a pup tent or a half shelter, and then they eat hardtack and the traditional food that was made back then, cook over an open fire, everything from rabbit, pigeon, whatever was available back then. They tend to do tough nutting. I'm not that kind of person. So I like my luxuries. I like to have a bed to sleep on. I like a couple of duvets, sleeping bag, and I like to live off of normal food that we have every day now, for like beans and sausages, for example, which is primarily what I eat at a weekend, as you will find out in future videos. Let's just refer to my sheet. Now that is out the way, let's go and tell you what regiment I'm in. So I'm in 118th Pennsylvania. It's a volunteer infantry. And the website I will link below. Any websites I say I will link below as well, so anyone can go and visit them. The 118 website is 118thpvi.co.uk. It is a website I've constructed, so it's not perfect, and it most certainly isn't finished. And there is a gallery that needs updating currently and an events page that needs updating, and hopefully before I publish this video I will have that up to date and ready to go. My regiment is part of a collective of regiments, both northern and southern based, so Union and Confederate, as part of a bigger society. And the society is called the American Civil War Society. So the website again, acws.co.uk, I will link below. We are primarily a northern based society that I'm involved in, ACWS. We cover the northern of England. And then, although I'm quite far away from that, I'm in Gloucestershire, but I travel up north to go to the events. And then we do also have another main society for American Civil War reenactments in the UK, which is SoSkAn, the Southern Skirmish Association, and they are southern based. So they cover south of England, which is primarily where I am, but it's neither here nor there. We do sometimes mix at events, so if we get events crossover, we sometimes say, oh, can we come down there for a couple of nights, and we'll guest it there in their tent lines and we'll line up with them, and vice versa. If a couple of them fancy an event that we're doing, perhaps they'll guest with us in our regiment for the weekend. I nearly forgot where I was at then. That was close to me pausing the video and starting it all over again. Let's not do that. American Civil War Society, they normally organise 6 to 8 events a year, maybe a few more, maybe a few less. Depending on what we can get organised. I try and go to as many as I can. Some of them are a little bit too far for me to get to. However, I have done a 7-hour drive before, which I absolutely loved. I love driving, so Whitby was the event where it took me nearly 7 hours. There was a lot of traffic. I'm not going to lie to you, it was a Friday, so traffic is anticipated, but it was well worth the drive. It was absolutely brilliant event, as you will see on the events calendar, which I'm going to post shortly. I like to go to as many as I can, as I say, because it is just an escape from the real life, I suppose. Telling my friends when I was a kid that I would go away camping probably wasn't the best way to go about things. It always used to be, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm going camping. Oh, cool, you're going down to Cornwall or Devon or Weston or, you know, the traditional camping sites. No, I'm actually going up north to dress up for the weekend, effectively. In an older dress from the olden times. Oh, okay. Did you get your phone? Did you get your Nintendo DS? And I used to be like, no, I have none of that. I sit around a campfire for the weekend and talk to members of the public. That is probably, thinking back on it, is so cringeworthy. And I used to just tell my friends in the end, oh, I'm going camping for the weekend with my family, and never used to go into detail. And now I look back on that, I'm so grateful that my friends didn't care what I did when I was younger, or what I still do now. And it's more doing the reenactments that I absolutely love, and my friends accept that in me, and I'm very grateful that they do. I have a very close-knit group of friends, and if I say to them, oh, going camping for the weekend, they'll know already, oh, what event you going to, where you going to this time. And that's lovely to have that kind of friendship with people still, and they don't judge you for what you do, which I absolutely love. I have 2 ideas for videos for this channel. The first is to do 2 ideas per event that I go to with the society. So the first event, as an example, is Moira, which is in Leicester, and that's the weekend of the 15th, I believe, so I think that's Easter weekend. I will double check that and it will be on the events list at the end of the video, but that's the first event I'm doing this year. I would like to do 2 videos off that. One behind the scenes video, so whether that be what I get in my car for the weekend, how I pack the car, what food I take, what food I'm not taking, luxuries extra that I want to take, where I store my kit, and that's also preparation of my kit before I go. People who have licenses for guns and they use rifles, they obviously have to check those before we go as well and take their licenses, etc. with them, so I'll put a bit about those in my post as well. And I want to do a behind the scenes kind of thing with interviews, so a couple of people who cook mushrooms from the field, for example, or bring food to cook over the open fire on a spike, for example. Those kind of things I want to also get into that. It's sort of behind the scenes of what we do on the side. And then the other video that I would like to do is from what you guys would see if you came as a member of public to the event. So you would see the battles, if we have one, a skirmish inside an arena if the event is big enough. We do drill, battalion drill. We have the tents lined up with the officers' tents on the ends. We have the flags. You see all of those things when you go to an American Civil War event with no mobile phones, no electricity, no hair dryers. I mean, I don't take a hair dryer, but no hair dryers. You don't see what happens before 8, 9 o'clock in the morning and after 5 o'clock at night, which is what I would like to capture. So I'm going to do 2 types of videos. One's behind the scenes, and the other one is going to be what you would normally see when you come to an event. I think that's all I've written on my notepad. And I know I keep looking down there, but I'm hoping that's it. I'm just going to give a quick scan. Yes, that is it. Good. Okay, well that took shorter than I thought. I thought I was going to go off on a tangent a lot more than what I have done. So the next video you will effectively see is me probably loading the car or putting my kit together ready for the new season, seeing if my dresses fit, etc. And that will be, I'm hoping, just after the Moira event. It depends how long it's going to take me to edit a video. I work normally, so I'm going to have to do it outside of that anyway. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to say something really cringy. That's cringing me out already before I've even said it. But the only way this video is going to get out there and people are going to see what I would like to do with the channel or any videos I post subsequently after this, I would like you to like the video if you liked it and subscribe as well. When you press the subscribe button, there is a little bell icon you can press, which means you'll be notified when I actually publish my next video, which I'm hoping will only be a short few weeks' time. We shall see. So yeah, please like and subscribe. And I'm going to pop the events as the last thing that you'll see, so that'll be after myself. And if you'd like to have a look at any of the events, please pop to our website. Everything's down in my description below. Thank you for watching if you've watched it all the way through. It's probably been a mouthful. I've probably talked a lot and I've talked very quickly. Hopefully I can edit it so it's not too bad. But thank you very much if you have watched. And have a lovely evening and have a lovely week. Thank you.